Everybody, and thank you for joining us. My name is Bavo, and I'm part of this great group called the Sustainability Committee. This committee is part of the Coffee Roasters Guild and is designed especially to work on projects and solutions regarding sustainability in the coffee industry. In the last 12 months, we have put our heads together on how we can best assist the roaster community with topics related to sustainability. Our committee consists of members with different backgrounds and expertise. Rather quickly, we understood that there is a need in the roasting community to incorporate sustainability onto the work floor in a practical way. Now, what does that mean and how do you do that? That's what I'd like to talk about today. This webinar is the first in a series where we will present the development of the CRG Sustainability Toolkit. In the following months, we will organize other webinars, with the first being on the 6th of May, to discuss feedbacks and data we received on the toolkit. The goal is to include roasters into the development of this toolkit and spark conversations around sustainability subjects in the roastery. Therefore, this is not a one-way direction of information. The purpose of these online meetings is to get any feedback and any suggestions from you. These online conversations will focus on the environmental part of the toolkit, which is one of the three pillars the toolkit is based on. So keep your eyes out on the CRG social media for any announcements. Before we jump into the toolkit itself, it is important to understand what we are talking about when we refer to sustainability. Most of you know what sustainability means, but it's important to stress again how we understand it and then link it to the toolkit. The UN defines sustainability as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In a strict sense, sustainability means the ability to maintain or sustain a certain situation in balance. That means the outputs of a certain system or process cannot have a negative effect on the inputs. When we roast coffee, we use many different inputs and materials, such as electricity, gas for the roasting machine, packaging materials, and so forth. We need these materials to create delicious roasted coffees. Now, how do we make sure we don't jeopardize the inputs by roasting coffee and creating offsets? With offsets, I mean all types of waste, such as CO2, plastic, even jute coffee bags. Clearly, sustainability can become a very complex and confusing concept. Therefore, there exists a way to approaching sustainability by breaking it up into three principles or pillars. You might be familiar with these already. The first is what they call the social pillar. This is about upholding values that promote fairness and respect for individual rights. It refers to combating social exclusion and discrimination, promoting solidarity, and contribute to the well-being of all stakeholders in the process. The economic pillar is about developing a responsible economic system in relation to the other pillars, while at the same time being profitable. And profit here can be monetary, but also succeeding in the company's goals with their activities, whatever they might be. A company is not sustainable when it's likely to go out of business. The environmental principle is about protecting the environment by reducing risks and measuring the environmental impacts of companies' activities. Companies all over the world are focusing on sustainability. For example, the clothing manufacturer Patagonia, based in the US, came up with a campaign in 2011 with the message, "Don't buy this jacket," with a picture of a Patagonia jacket. A quite remarkable statement from a company that sells jackets. They stated that a consumer needs to think carefully before buying one of their jackets and wonder if they actually really need it. The hidden message: clothing is so durable that you only need to buy one as it lasts a lifetime. This is an example of how companies distinguish themselves and lay out the sustainability issues within their market. It shows us that we as roasters need to be aware of unsustainable actions in our sector and tackle problems where we can. It also shows that companies can take on an exemplary role for consumers and peers to be part of this needed change of perspective. It is increasingly desirable to focus on sustainability for roasting companies as well. But it can sometimes feel like you're navigating stormy waters. We see big coffee companies like Starbucks and Nestle investing millions in sustainability projects. They have yearly sustainability reports and have incorporated it into their long-term vision. Consumers increasingly demand information about the products they buy and expect companies to trade sustainable and be part of a fair coffee value chain. This means that to be successful, companies need to incorporate sustainability in their day-to-day practices. As sustainability touches so many subjects and activities in the roasters, it can be very hard to single out activities that are not sustainable or are sustainable. You need to challenge yourself as a company to incorporate sustainability. It's not easy. The hardest part of this exercise is to measure sustainability. Large roasters rely on external consulting services to design a path to sustainability, or others may work with sustainability certification companies, such like B Corp. But for many small and medium-sized roasters, these are too large investments and they take a big chunk out of their time. So there are many things happening at the roastery. You are selecting and buying green coffee, bringing it into the roastery. You spend time and energy roasting coffees and figuring out the best roast profile. You package the roasted beans and deliver them to your clients. And this is the most basic core business of a roastery. But it's often much more complex than that. Roasters, they travel to their clients or potential clients. They offer training. They travel to origin. They import and distribute coffee machines, cups, straws, trays. They buy stickers for labeling coffee bags. They invest in marketing and web shops. They attend industry events and spend countless hours making sure the accountant is happy. So there is not much time left to brainstorm about a sustainability pathway. And as a committee, we identified the need to be more sustainable and are working on a sustainability toolkit for the roasting community. In short, the toolkit will be an accessible portal which helps you define work points for sustainability in the roastery and offer tips and tricks to help you achieving your sustainability goals. Think about a fully laid out website or eventually a handy application. The vision is to support roasters with hands-on advice in a practical way. Sustainability is a big topic. It is complex and layered. With the toolkit, we want to break things down to a manageable level, even to the smallest operations in the work floor. Things you can work on today. What do you do with the chaff or husk after roasting? How do you reduce your travel impact? Can you improve on packaging materials? Help sparking these questions and offering solutions tailored to your business is what the toolkit is about. Additionally, you'll be able to keep track of your improvements, set goals, and follow up your progress. As we are in the development phase of the toolkit, we are quite a distance away from launching a finished product. That is why we have these webinars. During the progress, we want to include the future users. We have conducted a pilot which was received very well. And at this stage, we want roasters to give input and think along of what this toolkit needs to entail. The baseline of the toolkit is a survey. The survey serves as the assessment of the sustainability level of your roastery using a simple questionnaire. The aim is to understand what activities related to sustainability you are already engaged with, to then understand where you can improve. The survey is based on the 3 pillars we talked about before: environmental, social, and economic. But we added a section on transparency, as we believe this is an important part of the coffee sector and can open many doors to a more sustainable coffee value chain. We use these pillars and adjust them to the roasting space. Each section relative to the pillar exists out of many specific questions, such as, does your roastery have an environmental policy? Do you recycle waste? Does your roastery calculate the CO2 impact of your company? The answers to these questions will give an idea of how central sustainability is in your business. The survey will determine your strengths and weaknesses. Secondly, the toolkit will offer sources of information, hands-on tasks, links to certain materials, and so forth to help working on the sustainability topics you score low on. Once you have implemented a new activity related to sustainability, you'll be able to put this into the toolkit, and the toolkit will monitor your progress. It will check in with you about the status of your efforts, and it will record your successes. We have developed the toolkit for one pillar only at the moment, which is the environmental part. With the feedback we'll get on this section from you, we'll develop the other pillars. So let me jump to the toolkit and show you how it looks like. So I'm going to share my screen, see if that works. Here we are. So when you click on the link, you'll end up on a landing page on the website of the Coffee Roasters Guild called the Sustainability Toolkit. So here you see the 4 different pillars that we talked about, which will have different surveys. So it's only the part 1 environmental part that is unlocked and that you can jump into. So when you scroll down, you just need to click on this, and there you go. This is the environmental survey. You click on Launch the Toolkit, and you'll jump in if everything goes okay. So this is a short introduction of things that I've just talked about. And there you go. There are some general questions, and then we'll jump into different sections. So this is the general section. Does your roastery have an environmental policy? Let's say you don't have one yet. You click on no and then okay. Does your roastery hold any certifications that support a sustainability approach? Yes, I do. Okay. And so you go on forward and you answer all the questions that are there. Here we'll come to a next section, which is called waste deferral. So it's about waste. And the following section is about packaging materials and so forth. So the survey takes about 10 minutes to take, which is not that long. And it will give you an outcome or a position on where you are in terms of the environmental issues within the roastery. So I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll go back to the presentation. If I manage. There we go. Here we are. So that's the toolkit for now. So as mentioned, at these early stages of the toolkit, we want to involve as many roasters as possible. You can use this link to take part in the first constructed part of the survey and reach out to us with any feedback. At the moment, we are collecting data while we work on the tools. What questions do you think we need to add? Do you know about any useful and successful tools that we can incorporate into the toolkit? What is your experience with sustainability related activities in the roastery? So it would be great to learn these things from you. And secondly, we'd love to know what you want to talk about regarding sustainability. Is there a specific topic or subject that you would like more information on? If so, you can let us know so we can tailor an online session around the subject or talk directly with you to support you. As mentioned, in a couple of weeks, we'll reach out with the data and information that we gathered from the survey and your input. So please do reach out to the contact form mentioned here and use the QR code here, if my head's not in the way, to take the survey. So with that, I really would like to thank you for your time and your attention, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.